Time for a first look at Divinity Original Sin 2. You may be aware of the original, well, not the original, or latest in a quite a long series of games really, so original is terrible, but a couple of years ago Divinity Original Sin came out, and now out comes the sequel, or rather, the first act of the sequel, because this is an early access game, or rather, it was kickstarted, and now it's on early access as well. I happen to be a Kickstarter backer, and one of the nice things about Divinity games is their freedom. So let's get started with a campaign. This is a first look video, it's kind of a new format for the channel. Just giving you an idea of the game, getting you started. It's not necessarily a full Let's Play or anything, but let's get going. We'll see whether this kind of format helps or hinders you on the channel. We'll see. Let's get started, shall we? I guess we should look at the options first. What kind of options do we get? Well, I'm running at able to run at 144 Hz, and of course this isn't terribly taxing of a game, so I'm currently running around 120 in the menu screens. We'll see what that gets like when we get into the game. This is fake full screen, so I guess I could go to full exclusive. I'm just keeping it on this so I can use the rest of the computer while I'm doing this. I'm not enabling the frame cap, but for those of you who want to kind of stop your graphics card from squealing and heating up any nearby leg, feel free to use the frame caps. Not sure that's going to be amazing in this game, but we'll see. And I'm on ultra setting now. I am on just to give you an idea, I am on a GTX 1080. 1080 is a little bit overkill, I will admit, for an RPG. This is obviously an RPG, very much in the style of the Baldur's Gate, kind of overhead isometric, but it is 3D. You can rotate the camera and stuff like that. I have a lot of options on. In fact, I don't actually need that all the way up at 16 times. Lighting quality high, everything high, everything high, everything high. Anti-aliasing type, yeah, I'm going to leave alone. Again, I'm not going to worry too much about it in this type of game, otherwise I would be looking at those settings with a lot more seriousness if it was something like Battlefield 1. Not that that's coming out soon. Yeah, and then we have the nice options that I like to turn off. Motion blur, I never like. I don't know who likes motion blur. In first-person shooter games, if you like motion blur, does it not make you ill? Is there some kind of weirdness about the actual thing just blurring left and then blurring right whenever you move around? Not too terribly impressed. The rest, yeah, maybe it's all nice effects. I've seen the depth of field in this. It's very much using it to make like a tilt shift effect, where the kind of things in the far background, but because you're almost isometric, it does produce this kind of almost tilt shift, but not quite that illusion of everything being tiny. Ambient occlusions, obviously all well and good. It does tend to have performance impacts, but again, I'm not too worried about it with this particular game. Bloom can be a bit annoying, but I'm going to leave it on. Sound, all and good. I've kept the music quite low. Let me know if I do any more episodes on this game. And let me know what the music, hopefully the sound level is good enough. Gameplay, it is a multiplayer game. You can have up to 4-player co-op, just like Divinity Original Sin. Which is a very good way to play the game. It's very enjoyable with a few mates around, and yeah, so feel free to try that one. Difficulty, I'm going to leave it in classic mode, or there is explorer mode, which is pretty much like stomp over everything you want to. Save games, autosaves, fine. Dialogues, again, fine. There is a little bit of a complication in when you're in multiplayer, in that, you know, the dialogues you see may not necessarily be your own. That's not too... I'm not actually going to cover multiplayer here, but just bear that in mind with the multiplayer. Audio, I'm going to show the subtitles because it's on YouTube, and tutorial boxes, why not? So you can see how things work as well. Controls, pretty much standard for this kind of thing. We're going to be moving with the mouse, either by clicking or moving it to the edge of the screen, or clicking, dragging, that kind of thing, as you'd expect. There are some other different things to do. Toggle combat mode is tab by default. Just bear that in mind when you're alt-tabbing around, because one of the things about Divinity is that it's very, very open to killing whoever you like. And if you're in tab combat mode, and then walk up to someone, you may have a bad time. Just bear that one in mind as well. And yeah, let's just cancel and go back and start the campaign. here we go. Character creation, just like you'd expect. Divinity Original Sin 2, this game's title is too long, has a number of different preset origins. You'll see over here there's an origin. We've got Sibyl, the Red Prince, Laos, hopefully not, Ivan, and custom. Mezd. No, something wrong with that. It needs to be the other way around. Okay, and custom. Now I'm going to choose custom because, hey, I want to choose everything about what I actually do. But these other origins are pretty much like, I guess you could say they're like a starter character. You don't need to worry about, the different things. So we've got an elf, and rather disturbingly, elves are corpse eaters in this game. They let you eat body parts to access the memories of the dead. That's right. Nice elf, pointy ears, elegant, eating the face off whatever you just killed. And we've got a lizard. The lizard is actually a sophisticated lizard with spell song. A face only a mother could love. And Los, which is a human. And of course, there is some kind of, I guess, stereotype that all humans are good at diplomacy in some way. In this case, what do we have? Leadership. Okay, so that's close enough to diplomacy for every RPG ever. You also have these musical instruments at the bottom. Which one you choose just depends which one it plays music in the background. So if you listen for a second, you can have a cello, an oud. Always thought it was a Doctor Who enemy. And a lute, or well, tambura, and panpipes. I'll stay with the panpipes. Bear in mind, with these origins, if you don't choose one of them, it seems like you see them in-game. So the AI will basically be playing them if you don't choose them. So yeah, let's just go for custom. And we can choose our class and our race, and I'm not going to go for face eaters. I'm sorry. I would like an elf or things like a ranger class maybe, but corpse eater is a bit odd. Has to be said. Humans, yeah. Lizards. And dwarves. No. I mean, he's good at sneaking. And he's sturdy. Well, sturdy, yes, I would believe. I guess I'm stuck with human. Yes, I'm a wizard. I need to go into some kind of Diablo 3 impression at some point. Anyway, humans. Ingenious, apparently. We have 2 wit, some 3 critical chance, I guess. And leadership. And what class are we going to go for? Well, we can go for any class we like. There's Battle Mage, Cleric, Enchanter, Fighter, Inquisitor, Knight, Ranger, Rogue, Shadowblade, Wayfarer, Witch, and Wizard. You have a lot of different choice in here, and each one can be customized. Before I get to that, let's just go to the tag system. This sort of affects your dialogue choices in game and the way you actually want to go there. So if we go in here to something like Scholar, that's going to affect, I'm going to be able to choose Scholar options in there. And I guess I can choose something else, and because this is probably going to be a wizard, I guess I'll say Mystic as well. Take that up, and customize. So in here we can change our actual character, and happily that also changes the portrait that's going to be on screen as well. I guess some of these are... Wow. No. 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 Well, facial features. Why not? he's just so going to be so full of himself. He actually has a Van Dyke, so really showy mustache, and of course we can change our abilities and customize those. So if you want to get really in depth with all of this stuff, feel free to. And particularly the skills will determine, particularly as a wizard, you'll choose different ones which will help you or hinder you. Pyrokinetics, or fire, Hydrophist. Oh, I always have problems with this, even in the previous game. Hydrosophist for water magic, and then air magic, I think lightning and that kind of thing. Somewhat more important is the, I guess, the sliding skills are fine. Is the talents. There is a few in here. There's a lot in here. I mean, just look at the number of things you can actually choose. The things that it automatically does, it increases the range, human resolve, and ingenious. So I could take Fire Out Man off and then add another one. For instance, I could start with Pet Pal. Pet Pal lets me talk to animals, so why not? As you actually get through the game, you will of course add more of these, and some are better than others. So yeah, as this is a quick thing, rather than me going into every one of them, I'm just going to leave most of these as they are. And let's get started. Once I get through enough accept buttons. Yes. I've forgotten what his name was.
Honourable Dallas, madam. We lost a ship sailing Sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured in Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully, into eternity.
Budget Sean Bean.
High Judge Orivand.
Yeah, I was close. This isn't cliched at all. We've been shipwrecked. Those Voidwalker made short bloody work of the ship. Looks like I'm the only lone survivor, and rightly so. See, I told you he would have his head up his I mean, he would be arrogant. Let's head out, shall we? Just like these sort of games, you'd expect to be able to click things, so nothing in there, and I don't think there's a key to show all interactables. That would normally be something like Alt. Holding down Shift will show the enemy area that you can actually get into trouble with. So you see at the bottom of the screen I have various of these keys. These are my usual kind of things, like inventory, pressing I. I have a bunch of stuff in there. Seagulls go... Really? They don't like me narrating. Can I have it back? I guess so. And then we have all the actual abilities. So I have Searing Daggers, Fossil Strike, Rain, Encourage, Yay Team, and Seagulls. And then Scrolls. Scrolls are like one-time use things. And my Staff, which has its own special attack. Obviously, as you get different staffs, this will actually vary. You may remember from the previous game, you can do things like, for example, and one of the very things about combat in Divinity Original Sin 2 and 1 is that you can combine lots of different abilities together. So I could cast Rain to get everything to be wet, and then you could hit it with a lightning bolt, and you get combinations like that. My, those seagulls. We're going to have to change the ambient. Maybe? Okay, that should do the job. And if we hold down Shift again, we see this enemy area. There's obviously something over here we can actually try and get killed by. Or in this case, maybe interact with. Let's have a talk with him, Tam. Charles has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at an angle, is inspecting his eyes, his chin, the crown of his head. He spots you and his arms snap to his sides. I'm not supposed to talk to strangers. I'm not a stranger. I'm a wizard with a very special moustache. Not to worry. That's a dialogue option, by the way. That capital human is because I'm a human, much like some of the other tags that I'm going to have. Tell them everyone's got to stick to their own kind, especially now the world has become so dangerous. I guess, but the people who put me here are human, and the people who took my parents away are human. Or do you mean because I'm... are you a sorcerer? One of those guys? Yes, that is not a typo. If you're not used to these games, the source, play on words with normal spelling of sorcerer, so don't worry, that's not a typo. One of those guys that brings the bad void things here. Yes, something happened in a previous game. It means every time you use the source, things go bad. I must be or wouldn't be here. Do I look like a sorcerer? Or yes, and so are you. And, yeah, he's looking at himself. I think he's just touched in the head. I don't see any source on you or me. Guess they're wrong. Well, they may be wrong and crazy. Do your parents know where you are? The Magistrates took them away. It isn't safe out here. I saw I get a lot of people die, but you didn't. Okay. Why don't you see them scared? I guess I am, but it's just normal to be scared. Nowhere isn't scary. Nowhere isn't scary? How? What? Yes. Okay. Say you survive the void walking attack by the skin of your teeth. You should find somewhere less safe to go. Okay. He's not the most useful person in the world, but yeah, let's see. Maybe it's a quest. We'll come back to that. And are we stuck here? Yes, there's nothing much up here. I hate seagulls. The freedom of this game should let me kill seagulls. Why not? Let's head along the coast. As these games are wont to do, they're probably going to give me some sort of challenge. Oh, there's a challenge. Voidwoken, there's the same beast that sunk our ship. You got sunk by woodlice? Viscous voidling, it looks like a woodlouse. Well, where is the combat region? There it is. So maybe if I stand here, can I, in fact, just hit them with a giant rock? Because that is, that's advanced. Or, yeah, it's not going to matter which one I use. Rain isn't going to do much, because I don't have really anything to follow it up. But this creates an oil surface. This would then drop fire onto the oil surface, so why not? Let's just throw something this way, and there's our graphics. Boom, fight, and now I can choose what to do. I'm going to set them alight. Boom, and they're alight. Fine. This is, however, a turn-based game, so just bear that in mind when the woodlouse comes over and stabs you with its prongs. And that's an awful lot of blood. This viscous voidling is down to 20 health, and obviously our abilities are gone now. So what can we do? Well, we can use our staff's ability, I guess. And on you. It didn't die. Still my turn. Hit it over the head with the staff instead. Does more damage than my special attack, hitting it with a stick. Okay. Fair enough, but we can loot them. Wow, the surround for this loot is made out of bones and teeth. Yeah, 5 gold. Okay, we'll take that one. But there is a someone else over here who didn't do quite too good, and a magister at that. Apple, resurrection scroll, and healing potion. Fine, let's go and see if we can get anything else out of this. I guess not. I don't see any other containers around. I guess 5 gold is our starter amount. Now in the previous game we did have like a hidden sort of quest at the start that gives you a nice reward, but I haven't seen it yet. Maybe it's not. Maybe there's not one at the start of this game. If you remember the last game, it was a ring that, well, depending on what you did with it, depends whether you got rewarded or some other kind of effect. Oh, here's a new guy. Let's see what here is. Now, this is the guy that we previously had the origin story from. There we go, so we can zoom in. Remember the guy with the face only mother can love? Yes, here he is again. And you'll see this depth of field effect. That's what I was talking about before. As we get closer in, you kind of get the fake bokeh, or bokeh effect, however you say that. There we go. So, you spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. The skin is of a bright blood red colour. Never before have you seen a lizard such as this. I'm pretty sure I have. I'm pleased to make his acquaintance. Remark he should find a place in the shade. Looks like he's been standing in the sun for far too long. The writers clearly have a sense of humour. Gleefully sneak up on him with the intention of pushing him into the sea. Why not? Just about to push your hands in his bag, the lizard turns with feline agility. You see a flash of claws. And he slashed my cheek. Don't sneak up on me. I smell like a rotten kipper. You're the one who looks like a lobster. And he helps me back up. To the death then. I'm ready? Okay. Hold my horses. I don't want to fight to the death. And there's no honor in killing, maybe? He begs to differ. Of course he is. So he's some kind of stereotype warrior kind of guy. I'm intrigued by the colour of his skin. That's the first time you've ever seen a red lizard. That's because he's the only one. Okay. He was rather lucky to be born a prince. So the red prince then is just a literal label. You're a prince and you're red. Not much in the way of imagination. He seems to be quite alone. Did you ever consider looking for companionship? I'm not sure how you want to take the word companionship here. But okay. I'm sort of hoping for like a group member, not kind of a companion in the other sense. Okay. And he wants to commit suicide. And remark, you can always lend him a hand should courage fail him. Okay, express horror and outrage. Suicide can never be a solution. And many other people have done it, he says. But we're human, we're going to encourage the guy. So, not encourage him. We're going to help him come back from it, to be clear. Above all, you have the right to climb back out of the abyss. Why doesn't he join the party? You intend to escape from this isle? And he says, why should I come with you? Well, you'll make it home or die trying, and he'll have that chance too. And we have a new party member. Now, importantly, the way that this works is you can split these up by moving them out of, maybe that's, there it is, by removing them from each other like this, and then you can move them independently, or you can just have them one follow the other and click on whichever one you want to lead, and you will lead that way. Of course, this does need a bit of rotation. WSAD to move the camera rather than moving anything else. And then we can sort of choose where we want to go. Maybe we can go up here and see if there's anything this way. Whoops, I pressed tab. That puts me in combat mode. I actually wanted to press shift. Nope, there's nothing over that way. Is there anything underneath the bridge, maybe? Just a fish skeleton or something? Maybe. Maybe we should try and head over here and see if there's any way through. Looks like there is. Oh, there's a cat. And I took Pen Pal. Can I talk to the cat? You can easily converse with animals. Understood. How did I get, hey, stop following me? That's insufferably cute. Ask the cat if it's feeling okay. Yes, I'm fine. It's all a little foggy. Where did you come from? The cat is a jerk and it turns away from you. So it's a cat then. Okay. What's going on? It doesn't know what's going on. Okay, but it's following us anyway. Hey, I wanted to leave that barrel. I didn't see any void walking. They must have gone down with a ship. A small void walking on the beach behind me. And they're going. Can I actually loot it now? Yeah, healing potion. Okay. And can we head this way? Now remember that I can actually kill anyone I want. Tension has increased, and that increases more crimes are committed. I haven't committed any crimes. As tension rises, others are less likely to forgive your indiscretions, like accidentally hitting them, maybe? And now I have someone with a cloak that seems to be flying back in the face of no wind, because the fire isn't acting like that either. Always a bad sign when someone's cloak flies back in invisible wind. Stay back, you, and stay silent. Your savior is speaking. Oh, okay. Someone to match my kind of personality then. Okay, so Magister Atusa, come, Alexander. I'd sooner cut out my tongue than lie to you. I know nothing of this Verdus. So Atusa's going to have a bad time, it seems, especially with this thing around. Then do it. If you can tell His Holiness no more, your tongue is no use. Cut it out. Cut out your tongue? Can't be serious. And you will obey your superior, whatever she may ask. Hang on. I don't want to get noticed. That's a coward's way out. No. My character has a Van Dyke mustache. He's not allowed to sneak. Quietly moves if you want to keep a lot of the magisters in check at once. The spectacle is the way to do it. Step forward, saying this is injustice at best, base cruelty at worst. You won't find out by mutilating her. Okay, so let's go for step forward. Stay silent. Okay, so she's cutting her own tongue out. Stop, Dallas, I believe you made your point. My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. Do you think you would lie to his only son? How do we know he's lying? All you have to do is cut out his tongue. How does that indicate he's lying? Dallas, yes, Your Holiness, we're done here. Oh! Really? Okay, a reflection dialogue. So, I can speak to the Red Prince and ask him what he thinks. Red Prince, that was rather spectacular. To die at the hands of a human is insulting. And she was a lizard yet a magister, and no matter her reasons, her penalty was fair. I'm sorry, but that was more. There must be something more here. These are painful times. Sometimes people must suffer for the greater good. No. When it comes to dying in a puddle of my own gore, sooner her than me. Okay, I guess that is selfish, but I'm going to go for the middle option. Oh, the cat. Does the cat want to say something? No, of course not. It's a cat. And that took over the Red Prince as the leader automatically. I didn't want to do that. I will... Yeah, let's loot the Magister. Okay, I can loot... Is this not the actual loot for the elf? Because, yeah, elves. Bottled Inferno, yeah, let's just take it all, shall we? And now we head into Fort Joy. What is Fort Joy? Well, it's a prison for everyone else that is like you. You have these bands around your neck. They stop you accessing the source. And I'm going to be pretty sure that we need to get out of here. Yeah, with what looks like other people to give us plenty of quests. That brings us up to the half-hour mark. So, I guess we should leave it there and come back next episode, maybe see some more quests. If there is a next episode, that is. This is a first look, so we'll see. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you next time.